Ever wonder why some people seem to thrive no matter what life throws at them? What if I told you that their secret is simpler than you think? It's not about luck or talent. It's about how they choose to think. The power of positivity can completely change the way you handle challenges and approach life. It's the key to unlocking the kind of success and happiness you've always dreamed of. Before we dive in, take a moment to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on the powerful insights we're about to explore. Let's get started. Happiness doesn't just happen by accident. It's a choice, one that starts with your mindset. When you embrace positive thinking, you're not just smiling through the pain. You're reshaping the way you experience the world, turning challenges into opportunities and stress into strength. I'm not promising it's easy, but I am promising it's worth it. Last week, I decided to take on a personal challenge, to fully commit to positive thinking for 7 straight days. And the results? Let me tell you, they were nothing short of incredible. Not only did I feel calmer, but life's challenges, big and small, suddenly didn't feel as overwhelming. I had more control, more focus, and more confidence. Positivity isn't just a mindset. It's a tool that can completely transform your life. Now that you're ready to unlock the true power of positivity, let's dive into the profound insights that will transform the way you think, and ultimately, your entire life. Happiness isn't something that just comes to you. It's something you create every single day. And the best part? You hold the power to shape your own happiness, regardless of what's happening around you. But here's the real kicker. It's not about your circumstances, it's about how you choose to think and respond to them. Your happiness is in your hands. No one else can give it to you. The moment you let go of the idea that external events control your happiness, you take back the power. As Norman Vincent Peale brilliantly states in The Power of Positive Thinking, happiness begins with the decision to fill your mind with positivity. But here's where it gets really interesting. When you consciously choose to think positive thoughts, you're not just shifting your mood, you're changing the very chemistry of your brain. Here's something fascinating. Every time you think a positive thought, your brain releases serotonin and dopamine, the chemicals responsible for making you feel good. These chemicals help reduce stress, improve your mood, and give you that extra boost of motivation to tackle life's challenges. That's why positive thinking feels like a superpower. It doesn't just make you feel better, it literally rewires your brain for success. Think of it this way. You wouldn't let a broken faucet drip water all day, right? So why let negative thoughts drip into your mind, slowly eroding your sense of well-being? Instead, fix the leak by shifting your mindset. Every time a negative thought creeps in, challenge it. Ask yourself, is this thought helping me, or is it holding me back? Creating your own inner happiness starts with one simple decision: to focus on the good, even when it's hard. The truth is, life isn't always going to go the way you plan. There will be roadblocks, setbacks, and challenges. But the way you respond to those obstacles is what will define your happiness. Start by expressing gratitude. Gratitude isn't just a buzzword, it's a powerful tool to shift your mindset. When you actively acknowledge the good things in your life, no matter how small, you train your brain to focus on the positive. Try this. Each morning, write down 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be big. Something as simple as a warm cup of coffee or a good night's sleep can change the way you approach your day. Next, recognize that you are not your thoughts. Your mind might wander to negative places, but that doesn't mean you have to follow. Be mindful of the stories you tell yourself, and don't judge yourself when negative thoughts arise. Simply acknowledge them, then let them pass. A big part of cultivating inner happiness is setting goals that align with your values and bring you closer to the life you want to live. Here's the catch. Your goals don't have to be grand or life-changing overnight. Small, realistic steps build momentum. Celebrate each win, no matter how small, and use that as fuel to keep moving forward. Here's a practical tip. At the beginning of each week, set one personal goal that you know will make you feel accomplished by the end of the week. Whether it's finishing a book, going for a walk every morning, or reconnecting with an old friend, these small actions add up. They give you a sense of progress, which leads to a deeper feeling of happiness. Happiness isn't just about what happens in your own mind. It's about connecting with the people around you. The more you cultivate meaningful relationships, the more fulfilled you become. Studies have shown that people with strong social connections are generally happier and healthier. So don't hesitate to reach out, be vulnerable, and build those connections. Sometimes a simple conversation with a friend or family member can lift your spirits and remind you that you're not alone in this journey. The way you think shapes the life you experience. When you choose to focus on the positive, you don't just feel better, you start to attract better outcomes. Happiness isn't a distant dream. It's something you can build right here, right now. And it all starts with the thoughts you allow into your mind. You are in control of your happiness. By developing a positive mindset, expressing gratitude, setting realistic goals, and connecting with others, you can create a life that feels joyful and fulfilling, regardless of the circumstances. The power of positivity isn't just a feel-good idea. It's a life-changing force that's within your grasp. So why not start today? Take a moment to reflect on the story of J.K. Rowling, the famous author behind Harry Potter. Before she became a literary sensation, she faced years of rejection. 12 publishers turned her manuscript down. She was a single mother, struggling to make ends meet, and life certainly wasn't handing her any guarantees. But through all of it, Rowling held on to one thing: her belief that her story had the power to resonate with people. She kept going, not because the road was easy, but because she expected her persistence would pay off. And guess what? That belief became her reality. Her expectations set the stage for one of the greatest literary successes of all time. This isn't just an isolated success story, it's the power of positive expectation. When you expect great things, even when the odds seem stacked against you, your mind aligns itself to find solutions, not obstacles. That's the real magic of believing in the best, even in tough times. You've probably heard of the law of attraction, but what does it really mean in the context of positive thinking? At its core, the law of attraction states that like attracts like. Your thoughts and feelings create your reality. When you focus on positive outcomes, you begin to attract situations and people that align with those thoughts. Take the story of J.K. Rowling, for example. Imagine being a single mother, living on welfare, struggling to survive. Imagine spending years writing a book only to have it rejected by 12 publishers. For most people, that's where the story ends, defeated by self-doubt, crushed by disappointment. But not for Rowling. Even after every rejection, she expected that her story would make a difference. She didn't just hope for it, she believed it. And that unwavering belief, that magnetic expectation of success, is what changed everything. Rowling's persistence wasn't just a matter of grit, it was her law of attraction at work. Her belief in the worth of her story drew the right opportunities into her life. Eventually, a small publisher took a chance on Harry Potter, and the rest is history. But let's be clear, this wasn't a story of luck. It was a story of expectation. Rowling's mind was set on success, and because of that, her thoughts, her actions, and even the world around her aligned with that success. This is where the law of attraction becomes so powerful. When you expect the best, your brain starts actively seeking out the paths and solutions that lead to success. Your thoughts become a filter, highlighting the opportunities that others might overlook. You begin to see every setback not as a sign of failure, but as part of the journey to something greater. Think of it this way. When you ask yourself, "Why is this happening to me?" you reinforce the idea that life is happening to you. But when you shift your focus to, "What can I learn from this?" you become an active participant in shaping your reality. You start attracting the lessons, people, and resources that help you move forward. It's like this. Your brain is hardwired to seek patterns. If you're looking for reasons to fail, your mind will highlight every single mistake, every missed opportunity, every obstacle. But when you expect success, when you truly believe it's coming, your brain shifts gears. Suddenly, you start noticing the small wins, the connections that matter, the solutions that lead to breakthroughs. It's not magic, it's psychology. Your brain is creating your reality based on what you choose to focus on. Imagine Rowling had given up after her 5th or 10th rejection. What if she had said, "Well, I guess the universe is telling me this isn't meant to be"? She would have missed the opportunity of a lifetime. But her belief, her expectation of success, kept her going until she found the right path. That's the law of attraction at work. You don't wait for success to come to you. You attract it by believing in it before it happens. So, how do you apply this in your own life? It's simple. Start expecting the best, even when the odds seem against you. Instead of waking up with anxiety about what might go wrong, spend a few minutes each morning visualizing what could go right. Imagine your day unfolding with ease. Visualize yourself handling challenges with grace, and believe that the outcomes you desire are already on their way to you. This mental shift primes your brain to focus on solutions, not problems, and it begins to draw success into your life, much like Rowling's unshakable belief in her story. Worry has a way of creeping into every corner of our minds. It's subtle at first, a fleeting thought, a nagging concern that seems harmless. But left unchecked, worry grows, casting a shadow over everything. And here's the kicker. Worry doesn't just live in your head. It lives in your body too, causing real physical harm. Chronic worry can steal your peace of mind and manifest in ways that can impact your entire being. From insomnia to constant headaches, stomach problems to muscle tension, worry is relentless, and it doesn't stop there. You might think worry is just an emotional burden, but it can do more damage than you realize. Worry that lingers long enough has the power to literally break your heart. Too much worry can affect your cardiovascular system, leading to high blood pressure, an increased risk of heart attacks, and even strokes. The stress hormones triggered by anxiety push your heart to work overtime, leaving it vulnerable and worn out. Imagine this. What started as a small nagging concern can snowball into something that puts your health at serious risk. Here's the silver lining. While worry can feel overwhelming, it doesn't have to rule your life. The next time you catch yourself spiraling, ask one simple question. What can I control right now? If the answer is nothing, it's time to release that worry. But if there's something you can influence, channel your energy into that. Taking control of what's within your grasp instantly shifts your mindset from helplessness to empowerment. Let's bring this into perspective with a real-life example. Think about a difficult situation at work. You've been assigned a high-stakes project and the what-ifs start flooding in. What if I mess up? What if I can't deliver? What if they fire me? This mental loop can easily pull you down. But by asking yourself, what can I control? You'll find the power to focus on solutions. You can prepare thoroughly, ask for support, and present yourself confidently. The moment you switch your attention to what's in your hands, worry starts to lose its grip. Let's not ignore the physical consequences. When worry takes over, your body feels it. Headaches, insomnia, tense muscles, and the longer it lingers, the more damage it does. Your heart works overtime, your blood pressure spikes, and your immune system weakens. Constant worry, in essence, is an attack on your body's well-being. Studies have shown that people who live in a state of chronic worry are at greater risk for heart disease and other stress-related conditions. This is your body sending you warning signs. Worry is not just a mental issue, it's a full-body experience. While it may seem like worry is inescapable, there's a way out. Shift your focus from problems to solutions. Positivity isn't about ignoring challenges. It's about facing them with the mindset that you're capable of finding a way through. When you worry, you trap yourself in a cycle of fear. But when you look at life through a lens of positivity, you shift from being a passive observer to an active problem solver. This isn't just abstract advice. It's a practice that people like J.K. Rowling have used to transform their lives. When Rowling faced multiple rejections for her Harry Potter manuscript, she could have succumbed to worry and given up. Instead, she focused on what she could control: her belief in the value of her story, her persistence, and her willingness to keep trying. That mindset eventually attracted the right opportunity. This is the law of attraction in action. What you focus on, you attract. And when you choose positivity, you start attracting solutions instead of problems. If you're ready to break free from the cycle of worry, here's a practical tip. Limit your worry time. Set aside 10 to 15 minutes each day specifically for worrying. Write down everything that's bothering you, sit with it, and then let it go. By confining your worries to a specific block of time, you prevent them from spreading into every waking moment. Another tool? Mindful breathing. When you feel yourself spiraling into worry, take a few deep breaths. Focus on each inhale and exhale, grounding yourself in the present moment. This simple practice can calm your mind and bring you back to a state of clarity. Worry doesn't solve problems, it only magnifies them. By shifting your focus to what you can control, you reclaim your power. You stop worrying about things beyond your reach and start investing your energy in actions that can make a real difference. Life is full of uncertainties, but how you respond to them is completely within your control. When you stop letting worry dictate your actions, you unlock the potential to live a life filled with peace and purpose. Worry is a thief. It robs you of your health, your peace, and your potential, but you don't have to let it win. By focusing on what you can control and releasing what you can't, you take back your life. So next time you feel worry creeping in, remember this. You hold the power to choose how you react. Choose peace, choose positivity, and watch your world begin to shift in remarkable ways. Heartbreak. It comes in many forms, but there's a unique kind of pain that comes with losing a child. It's a loss that feels incomprehensible, a grief that sinks deep into your soul. For me, that heartbreak came in the form of losing a child before I even had the chance to hear its heartbeat. The dream of a new life, a new chapter, was taken away before it even began. It's a pain that's hard to put into words, and yet, it's a pain I had to learn to live with. But through that darkness, I found that positivity doesn't mean denying the hurt. It means allowing yourself to feel every wave of pain, and then slowly, choosing to rise above it. When I lost my baby, the grief felt overwhelming. There were days when I couldn't see a way forward, when the weight of that loss felt too heavy to bear. But life doesn't stop for heartbreak. I had a family who needed me, a husband who stood by my side, and a child who looked to me for strength. And in those quiet moments of reflection, I realized that, even in the midst of unimaginable pain, I still had the choice to rise. I could honor the memory of the child I lost by choosing to live fully for the family I still had. Positivity in the face of loss doesn't mean pretending the pain isn't there. It's about acknowledging it, facing it head on, and deciding that this pain, no matter how deep, will not break me. It's about making the conscious decision to move forward, not just for yourself, but for the people who still need you. That's what I chose to do. I let myself grieve, but I also let myself heal. Slowly, step by step. In moments of heartbreak, it's tempting to close yourself off from the world, to retreat into the sadness. But healing begins when you allow yourself to feel. I let myself mourn the life that could have been, the child I never got to hold. But I also allowed myself to embrace the love that was still around me, my husband's support, my child's laughter, the warmth of family. The journey to healing wasn't about forgetting the pain, but about learning to live with it and to let it shape me in ways that made me stronger. Every tear, every moment of doubt, became part of a process that helped me grow. I realized that heartbreak doesn't just break you, it reshapes you. It teaches you about your own resilience, your capacity to love, and your ability to find strength when you feel like there's nothing left. I won't lie. There were days when it felt impossible to move forward. the weight of the loss seemed unbearable. But what helped me through was focusing on the small actions. I'd get out of bed, make breakfast for my family, go for walks with my child, and slowly, very slowly, the pain began to ease. Positivity in times of heartbreak is about taking those small steps, knowing that each one is a victory no matter how small. I found solace in returning to my daily routine, even when it felt meaningless at first. But with each step forward, I reclaimed a little more of my life, and eventually I began to feel like myself again. The love of my family, the joy of watching my child grow. It reminded me that life continues, and that I have so much to be grateful for. Through this journey, I've learned that resilience isn't about bouncing back quickly. It's about learning to carry the weight of your grief without letting it pull you under. It's about facing the darkest moments and finding the strength to keep going. Positivity is your anchor in those moments. It doesn't mean you won't feel pain. It means you won't be defined by it. Heartbreak will always be a part of my story, but it's not the whole story. My story is also one of love, resilience, and the unshakable strength that comes from choosing to move forward. I know now that even in the face of unimaginable loss, there is still light to be found. And with every step I take, I carry that light with me. If you've faced a loss like mine, know this. It's okay to grieve, to feel every ounce of that pain, but also know that you have the strength to heal. You have the power to turn that heartbreak into something meaningful, to grow from it, and to find joy in life again. Your pain doesn't define you. Your resilience does. And if this message resonates with you, I invite you to subscribe to the channel. Together, we'll continue to explore the power of resilience, positivity, and healing. Let's support each other through the tough times and find strength in community. You are never alone on this journey. Failure. It's that gut-wrenching moment when everything you hoped for seems to slip through your fingers. It feels final, like the end of the road. But what if I told you failure is actually where the road begins? You see, failure isn't a dead end. It's an invitation. An invitation to grow, to rethink, and to become something more than you ever thought possible. The secret to turning failure into opportunity lies in how you choose to see it. When you look at failure through the lens of positivity, it transforms from something to fear into something to embrace. It becomes fuel. Positivity doesn't mean plastering a smile on your face and pretending everything's fine. It means facing reality with a sense of calm, knowing that no matter how tough things get, you have the power to turn it around. Think back to a time when you failed at something important to you. Maybe it was a career setback, a relationship that didn't work out, or a personal goal that fell apart. In that moment, you probably felt small, defeated. But what came next? Did you stay in that place of defeat? Or did you use that failure as fuel to push yourself harder, to try again, to learn from what went wrong? This is where positivity shines. It's not about avoiding the pain of failure. It's about embracing it as a stepping stone. Every failure is a lesson. Every setback is a teacher. What you learn from it defines what comes next. Few people understood this better than Thomas Edison. You've likely heard his story. 10,000 failed attempts to create the light bulb. But here's the thing. Edison never saw those as failures. He saw them as data, as necessary experiments that brought him closer to success. Each time his invention didn't work, he took a step back and asked, "What did this teach me?" He wasn't discouraged by setbacks because he knew that every attempt was refining the process. Imagine if Edison had given up after the 500th try, or even the 9,999th. The world would be a very different place today. Edison's resilience didn't come from blind optimism. It came from a deep belief that each failure was part of his journey to success. He wasn't afraid to fail. He was afraid to stop learning. That's the mindset we all need to adopt. Now think about how Edison's mindset can apply to your life. Maybe you're in the middle of a difficult project at work, Or perhaps you're trying to recover from a personal failure. It's easy to feel like you're stuck. But what if, instead of seeing these challenges as signs that you're on the wrong path, you saw them as proof that you're moving forward? When you hit a roadblock, ask yourself, what is this teaching me? Is it showing you a gap in your skill set? Is it encouraging you to approach the problem from a new angle? Or maybe it's revealing something about your own resilience that you didn't even know existed. Whatever the lesson, take it in, learn from it, and keep moving forward. One of the most powerful tools you have when dealing with failure is the ability to stay positive. And no, I don't mean blind optimism. I mean the kind of positivity that allows you to stay calm under pressure, to think clearly when others are panicking. Research shows that when we're optimistic, our brains are better equipped to find creative solutions to problems. Positivity broadens your thinking. It allows you to see beyond the immediate crisis and recognize the opportunities hidden inside the challenge. Let's say you're working on a project and everything starts going wrong. Deadlines are missed, team members are stressed, and you feel like the whole thing is falling apart. You can panic and shut down, or you can take a breath and ask yourself, what can I control right now? This is where positivity kicks in. Instead of focusing on the problems, you focus on the solutions. You start looking for ways to salvage the situation, and suddenly, the path forward becomes clear. Here's a personal truth. Failure is something we've all experienced, but how we choose to interpret it is what sets us apart. For me, I've had moments when things didn't go as planned, when goals I worked hard for slipped out of reach. In those moments, it's easy to let doubt creep in, to question if I'm on the right path. But looking back, I realized that those moments were turning points. They forced me to rethink my approach, to become more resourceful, and ultimately, they led me to successes I never would have achieved had I not failed first. The gift of failure is that it forces you to grow. It pushes you beyond your comfort zone and demands that you become more resilient, more creative, more determined. When you embrace failure as part of the process, it loses its power over you. You're no longer defined by your mistakes. You're defined by how you rise from them. So how do you turn failure into opportunity? It starts with a single question. What can I learn from this? Every time something doesn't go as planned, instead of spiraling into negativity, use it as a moment of reflection. What went wrong? What can you do differently next time? What strengths did you uncover in the process? Once you start viewing setbacks as opportunities, you'll find that failure doesn't hold the same weight it used to. It becomes just another step on the path to success, a necessary part of the journey that's leading you to something greater. Failure is not the enemy. It's a powerful ally that, when embraced, can push you toward growth, innovation, and success. The next time you're faced with a setback, don't shy away from it. Step into it. Ask what it's here to teach you, then take that lesson and move forward with even more strength, more clarity, and more determination than before. Every failure is a seed of growth. It's time to start planting. We live in a world that constantly pushes us to strive for perfection, whether it's the perfect career, perfect appearance, or even the perfect mindset. But here's the truth. Perfection is an illusion. It's a moving target that no one can truly hit. The more you chase it, the further it seems to slip away. Worse yet, the pursuit of perfection can leave you feeling inadequate, frustrated, and stuck. But what if, instead of chasing perfection, you chose to embrace your imperfections? What if those imperfections were the very key to unlocking your growth? The first step toward real growth is accepting yourself as you are, flaws and all. When you stop viewing your imperfections as failures and instead see them as areas for growth, you open the door to real progress. You free yourself from the constant pressure of trying to be something you're not, and allow yourself to focus on becoming the best version of who you already are. Let's be clear. Accepting imperfection doesn't mean giving up or settling for less. It means recognizing that growth comes from acknowledging where you are right now, understanding that you're a work in progress, and committing to improving a little more each day. True growth happens not when you achieve perfection, but when you embrace your journey, flaws and all, and keep moving forward despite them. Think about it. The people who inspire us most aren't those who appear perfect, but those who have embraced their imperfections and used them as a platform for growth. Their struggles, flaws, and setbacks are what make them relatable, real, and powerful. Here's the thing: perfection is the enemy of progress. We often delay taking action because we're waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect version of ourselves to show up. But that moment rarely comes. Instead, we find ourselves stuck, paralyzed by the fear of not being good enough. The pursuit of perfection becomes a trap, holding you back from making the progress you're capable of. Imagine this. You have a big idea or a dream you've been sitting on, but you keep telling yourself, "I'll start when everything is just right." Days turn into weeks, weeks into months, and before you know it, that dream remains just that, a dream. But what if you started now just as you are with all your imperfections in tow? What if, instead of waiting for perfection, you embraced the messy process of growth? Take it from famous creators and leaders, from artists to entrepreneurs. Most breakthroughs happen not when everything is perfect, but when they're willing to start despite the imperfections. The act of starting fuels progress. Perfection holds you back, while embracing imperfection propels you forward. Let's take a real-life example. Imagine you've always wanted to write a book. You have ideas, you've sketched out the outline, but you keep putting it off because you feel like you're not ready yet. You think, "I need more time, more knowledge, more practice before I can start." But the truth is, you'll never feel fully ready. There will always be some reason to wait. But what if you just started? What if you gave yourself permission to be imperfect, to make mistakes, and to grow through the process? Starting doesn't mean you'll get everything right the first time. It means you're willing to learn as you go, accepting that mistakes are part of the journey. Each mistake? It's a lesson in disguise, pushing you closer to your goal. Progress is about movement, not perfection. There's a profound beauty in imperfection because it's real. It's through our flaws and failures that we learn the most about ourselves. Think about it. How much have you learned from the times when things didn't go according to plan? Those are the moments that teach you resilience, creativity, and problem solving. Your imperfections are your greatest teachers. Take a moment to reflect on the last time you failed or fell short of a goal. Did that experience break you? Or did it make you stronger, more determined, and more resourceful? Imperfection is not a barrier to growth. It's the path to it. Growth happens in the messy, imperfect moments. When you're struggling to figure something out, when you make mistakes and course correct, when you're unsure of what comes next but keep moving forward anyway, that's where the magic happens, in the process, not the destination. So how do you start embracing imperfection in your own life? It begins with a mindset shift. Stop waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect version of yourself. Start now, with what you have, where you are, and let yourself grow in the process. Whether it's a new project, a personal goal, or a skill you've been wanting to develop, begin imperfectly. Allow yourself the space to learn, to stumble, and to grow. Here's a practical tip. Set small, achievable goals that allow you to make progress without the pressure of perfection. If you're starting something new, focus on getting better each day, even if it's just a little. Celebrate the small wins and recognize that every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory. And remember, you're not alone on this journey. We're all imperfect, and we're all striving to grow. If you find value in these insights and want to continue embracing your growth, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Together, we'll keep exploring the beauty of imperfection and the power it holds in helping us become the best versions of ourselves. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Winston Churchill. This quote emphasizes that success and failure aren't the final destinations but part of the journey. just like embracing our mistakes, failures, and progress along the way. Remember the story of Steve Jobs, who was fired from the very company he founded? Instead of letting that failure define him, he embraced his imperfections and returned stronger, ultimately helping Apple become the world's leading tech company. He proved that setbacks can be a launchpad for success if you know how to embrace them. So, set small, achievable goals that allow you to make progress without the pressure of perfection. If you're starting something new, focus on improving a little each day. Celebrate the small victories and recognize that every step forward, no matter how tiny, is a win. And remember, you're not alone on this journey. We're all imperfect, and we're all striving to grow. Growth happens in the messy, imperfect moments. When you're struggling to figure something out, when you make mistakes and course correct, when you're unsure of what comes next but keep moving forward anyway, that's where the magic happens, in the process, not the destination. So how do you start embracing imperfection in your own life? It begins with a mindset shift. Stop waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect version of yourself. Start now, with what you have, where you are, and let yourself grow in the process. Whether it's a new project, a personal goal, or a skill you've been wanting to develop, begin imperfectly. Allow yourself the space to learn, to stumble, and to grow. Here's a practical tip. Set small, achievable goals that allow you to make progress without the pressure of perfection. If you're starting something new, focus on getting better each day, even if it's just a little. Celebrate the small wins and recognize that every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory. And remember, you're not alone on this journey. We're all imperfect, and we're all striving to grow. If you find value in these insights and want to continue embracing your growth, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Together, we'll keep exploring the beauty of imperfection and the power it holds in helping us become the best versions of ourselves. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Winston Churchill. This quote emphasizes that success and failure aren't the final destinations but part of the journey, just like embracing our mistakes, failures, and progress along the way. Remember the story of Steve Jobs, who was fired from the very company he founded? Instead of letting that failure define him, he embraced his imperfections and returned stronger, ultimately helping Apple become the world's leading tech company. He proved that setbacks can be a launchpad for success if you know how to embrace them. So, set small, achievable goals that allow you to make progress without the pressure of perfection. If you're starting something new, focus on improving a little each day. Celebrate the small victories and recognize that every step forward, no matter how tiny, is a win. And remember, you're not alone on this journey. We're all imperfect, and we're all striving to grow. As we wrap up this journey, let's take a moment to reflect on the powerful insights we've explored together. We've delved into how positivity can truly transform your life, from cultivating inner happiness to navigating the complexities of failure and embracing the virtues of patience and gratitude. Remember, positivity isn't just about feeling good in the moment. It's a vital tool that empowers you to tackle life's challenges head-on, helping you emerge stronger and more resilient than ever before. Now it's your turn to take action. What's one small shift you can make today to invite more positivity into your life? It could be as simple as practicing gratitude, taking a moment for self-care, or choosing patience in a challenging situation. Share your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear your stories and support each other on this journey. And if you found this video insightful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Join our community as we continue to unlock the power of positivity together, creating lives filled with joy, resilience, and purpose. To conclude, imagine this powerful visual. Someone walking confidently into a stunning sunrise, the golden rays symbolizing new beginnings and the boundless possibilities that come with a positive mindset. Let this imagery inspire you to step into your day with confidence, knowing that you have the tools to create a brighter future.